Under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Welcome to Pipeman, Adventures of Pipeman. What are we going to talk about this week? Well, this week I got a sex change. Who let me on here? Bring on the pipe nuts. Actually, that's me. Somebody let me have the camera.
Who the hell is that trying to pretend to be me? So I gotta say, okay. Yeah, what you had to say the name of the show, the station, like that's how you start a show. Like, welcome to the Adventures of Pipeman right here on W4CY Radio with my pipe nuts, Swamp Nut, and we're gonna have a contest today. Who can shake their breast more, Swamp Nut or Rachel Nut?
Rachel wins.
I don't know because
I don't know.
The engineer nut over there, we got to come up with a name for him. Or did we yet?
Not yet, no.
Maybe call him Taco Nut.
Taco Nut, take off your shirt.
Yeah, because I had that in my head because last night was Taco Tuesday and I had some good tacos. So he might win. What do you think, Juan? Do you want to enter the biggest breast contest?
It wouldn't be fair if I did, so...
So I got to say that there was I was late, and there was a reason I was late, and it's a really good reason, and none of my pipe nuts even know why. Oh. So I started an interview about an hour ago, and for those of you that listen to my interviews, or those of you that edit my interviews, normally my interviews are anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. Sometimes shorter.
30.
No, that's rare, actually. I said most of the time. Okay. In fact, my longest ones have been anywhere from an hour to 2 hours have been my longest, and there's only like 3 of them that long. Well, now there is one. And this was a really, I just got to say, I'm talking about this right now because I just got off the interview. And I could have talked to this person like all day, but I had to come and do the live show.
Who was it? Can you say?
Well, I'm getting to that. Okay, I'm getting to that because it was a big surprise. This is what happens every week on the Adventures of Pipeman. Like I have this whole itinerary of what I'm going to talk about, and then something happens. And 2 things have happened since last week's show. This being one of them. So we're breaking stuff here on the Adventures of Pipeman, but it has to do with what my background is right now. I'm going to be changing my background during the show, but the background right now is the same background that I used for the interview because it has some importance to it. So,
is that a church, Amityville? No,
no, but I have been to the Amityville house. Yes, it is a church. It is a chapel. That church chapel is in Wales, and it was bought by the husband and wife of a band. Oh. Like they're both in the band, and it's a pretty big band, and it's a pretty great band, and they do a pretty great cause too. And that was the purpose for the interview. And we're going to have show hosts on all our other networks and shows to interview because this is such a great cause for women and for cancer. Okay. Oh. And
fuck cancer.
You got music. Yeah. Like I have Okay, I'm not wearing it right now, but I have a band that I wear at the festivals that says "Fuck Cancer" because it's one of my favorite booths at all the Danny Wimmer festivals. Is the Fuck Cancer booth? It's an actual organization. You got to go check it out. If you win tickets on the Adventures of Pipeman to one of the Danny Wimmer festivals, you are required to go to the Fuck Cancer booth. Required. Okay.
Should make them take a picture of themselves and send it in.
That is,
that's a good idea.
That's what they have to do after the fact. And if they don't turn one in, a picture of themselves at the Fuck Cancer booth, then they're gonna be disqualified from any future contests. Because we can't require them to do it to win, because they have to go to the festival to do it.
Right.
You know,
it's a clause. After you win, you have to do this.
You must. When you go to a festival, you must prove that you were at the Fuck Cancer booth and take a selfie at the Fuck Cancer booth at the festival and send it into the Pipeman to stay qualified for the following year. But listen, I am very curious about if the three of you know this band, and if you don't know this band, you might be kicked off the show. Have you ever heard of a band that sounds like something you would use in the morning?
Vibrator.
But there might be a band called the Vibrators. Okay, go ahead, try something else.
And if they're not, let's make one.
Yes. Rachel could be the lead singer. Rebel?
All right. How about coffee?
Drugs.
Not coffee. Not drugs. Not alcohol.
I think I'm gonna go with the Listerines.
That's close, but no cigar.
Fucking nuts.
I'll give you another hint. It's something that many people use in the morning that the Pipeman does not use.
Toothbrush.
Well, that almost was right.
Floss.
Go ahead.
Toothpaste.
What about floss?
I use dental floss, except not on my bridge because it doesn't. I do use like the kind I do. It's great when I'm around the grandkids. I'm like the typical grandfather. Watch this trick. And I take no, my teeth don't come out. They're permanent, but I have a threading floss. So I put the floss in and it's like above my teeth. It doesn't come out. And it's like, my grandpa trick. So, no, yeah, it's like so obvious. You have it on your phone. You might have it on your nightstand.
Lube.
You're snoozing right now.
Oh my God.
You have lube on your phone, Rachel? What are you doing with your phone?
I don't think your warranty covers that, by the way.
Yeah, what are you doing?
That's why it's broken.
Is that how big
Wait. It's on my phone and it's on my
alarm clock.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so what's the name of the band? What's the name
alarm.
of the band?
It's the alarm.
Lampshade.
That's right. I was just on with Jules from The Alarm, and we're going to make that interview that I just did, and you co-hosts don't even know yet. That's going to be our live show next week because it's that important. And it was about an hour-long interview. Like literally, I went the whole time, and then I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. But here's the deal, okay? What a story! You're going to have to tune in for this story because. First of all, Jules, who came on with me, she ran this retreat recently that was amazing. I don't know if you know this or not, but Jules did go through breast cancer. And she is a survivor. And she runs this retreat that she calls it a treat retreat because she treats women to 100% free trip to that building right behind me, that chapel that they bought, and they use that for a retreat. Okay. And it's inside there's a yoga studio. So they bring these women there that
but you have breast cancer?
Survivors of breast cancer or going through it. to, they can nominate themselves, or you guys, anybody. When I say you guys, I mean the whole world. You can nominate somebody else, and they write their story, and they get picked for this retreat. And the first retreat ever just happened, and it was amazing. They basically treated these women to like the experience of a lifetime. Okay, so let me go back a little bit. Look at that. That's for.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of the Pipeman OnlyFans, I just got rejected for the 25th time. When I submit the picture, they're saying it's not me. Okay, and I'm not even wearing my shades. Maybe I should put my shades on.
I think at this point you're gonna have to let me take over.
Well, no,
they're looking at you going, we don't.
I am a persist until you succeed person. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna have somebody take a picture instead of me doing a selfie. They tell you to do a selfie with your ID like this. I'm gonna have somebody else do it. I'm gonna hold it. And I'm gonna have them do it because the other side of the phone is better anyway. So. Right. That's what I'm going to do. I just haven't had anybody like, can you take a picture of me and my ID? Especially, I'm in Costa Rica. I can't be holding my passport up here. Can you take a picture of my passport? Thank you. But here's the deal. To back up a second. So Mike Peters, Mike and Jules, they are married, have been married for like ever. They've been from Wales forever. That's why they were going to get rid of this chapel. And they bought it instead. And they bought it because they live there and they've been there their whole life. And basically, they knew that they weren't going to ruin things. Look, Rebel's getting a little risky.
I know. Rebel and
I don't know. Rebel might be the winner. But
the contest, Rebel.
Here's the thing. Okay. So basically, Mike originally got diagnosed with leukemia like in his young 30s or late 20s, somewhere around there. And, they were devastated. Like, people don't understand. You could be the most positive person in the world, invincible. You get a cancer diagnosis. Fuck
that, right? That'll fuck you up. That'll knock you down fast.
I don't care who you are.
You're like this, and all of a sudden you're like, oh.
So what happened is back then, and I'm not going to ruin the whole story because you'll hear it in the interview. There was an organization started that was funny. It was co-founded, and it's called the Love, Hope, Strength Foundation, which Love, Hope, Strength comes out of lyrics of one of the Alarm songs, but it was not Mike's idea. Okay, so you'll have to listen to the interview to find out, and listen next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I have to say that because in Costa Rica, I'm now 2 hours behind you, and I'm on Central Time because we don't change the clocks. So anyway, her story was not only such an inspiration, but something that'll bring you to tears that I could not end the interview to get on my own show. Because it was too important. And this issue is too much important. Imagine this, if you're a woman going through this, having this kind of retreat where you're doing Pilates, yoga. They also own, it's like a pub down the road, and you're going and you're just having the best time of your life. And the Alarm, Jules and Mike, are treating you to this well, and it's the foundation that's treating it, and they raise money to help, but they also do these kind of things. And the foundation has all kinds of different retreats. In fact, we were talking about, and we're going to talk more about the thing that I was thinking of as far as cardiac patients, which we'll talk about in a second, which if I haven't said before, I'm going to say it now. But anyway, so this retreat, they nominate. You nominate yourself, you nominate others, and they will hand pick certain people that have just an amazing story to a weekend of restorative therapy, camaraderie, and to relieve the stress and feeling of isolation during treatment, because that's what happens when you're getting that treatment. You're like in isolation. So you got to check it out. As a matter of fact, Rebel, why don't you report to us from Louisiana what's exciting this week? And I'm going to pull up some information for Juan to put on the screen.
What's exciting this week in Louisiana? Oh, well, geez. Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. Now, let's see. Well, you can always go out to New Orleans. There's always fun in New Orleans. I suggest if you're going to go down to the French Quarter, be careful. Go during the day and be safe. If you're out in the North Shore area, I am not a whole 100% positive. I didn't have any plans this weekend, not permanent plans. I'm sorry. Rachel, how about you?
Okay, Rachel, what's going on in Texas or anywhere else you're showing your things at?
A lot of that. I don't know. It's spring fucking break. So by the way, let me tell you, you know how I like to go live before our show? So I was live on TikTok, and man, they sent me another violation.
See, it was not me.
Oh my God. They sent me another fucking violation. What am I doing wrong? I don't even know.
They're trying to take TikTok down. Y'all know that, right?
Again,
They sent me another
yeah, that
fucking
vote's
warning.
today. That vote is today, by the way.
No,
What
it
am I
can't be.
doing wrong?
I talked to the my House of Representative person. They knew nothing about it. They didn't know what it was about. And I said, well, when you find out, you
it's
tell
not
me
the House of Rep. It's not your House of Rep. It's for the government. It's Congress.
I understand,
Your
but they told
person's
you
not
to
going to know a
contact.
shit about it.
They
Yeah,
told
no,
you to
it's in
contact your House
backwoods.
representative.
You're in some backwoods racist town in Louisiana. What is your representative going to know about it?
That they knew enough about. I was angry, and the thing they told me is like, oh, it's basically because it's run by the Chinese. I'm like, whoa, hold on. So you might as well just take down the whole damn internet, right? You can't just pinpoint one thing and said that's a big problem. No, it's not. The whole internet.
No, well, what they're
problem.
saying is the Chinese are using what we're giving them to take us down. That's basically what they're saying.
Oh, but it's only on TikTok, right? Not in all of the little cells that they put in and have their own.
Well, when you
things.
control the data, that's what they're saying. Like the
Yeah.
Chinese government controls all the data and owns all the data that we're giving them. So, like, Rachel is now on some Chinese porn site.
Okay, so what
Yeah, but
about
that's on purpose, though.
Elon Musk?
Right,
No, who
yeah.
owns Facebook? Facebook person does the same damn thing, and he uses his money to put
Yes,
a
but
pill on food to kill us because he's trying to do population control.
but all those servers are in the U.S. Therefore, the U.S. government controls the information going through those servers. That
So,
is
in
where the
other
problem
words, the
lies.
U.S. isn't making enough money off of TikTok, so they're going to ban it.
What happened is that TikTok literally spent $1.5 billion to open Project Texas, where they have their own servers in Texas, where ByteDance won't have access to them, but the U.S. whatever, like they still want to take it down for whatever reason, because they still think there's a slight chance that ByteDance might still have information on Americans, and then they could be relaying that to the Chinese government.
Were they the same people who breached the Department of Motor Vehicles and everybody's information?
While you guys are
Couple months
arguing
ago?
this political stuff, I'm going to look at my phone and see what I missed in the past hour.
Right.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
I normally don't do politics, but it just seems to me that it needs to be more than just regulating TikTok.
It's
Okay,
not
what
about
about
regulation.
everything
It's
else?
about control of
Taking it down.
information, where the information goes. See, like, for example, Facebook is the biggest collector of information on anybody because they're the biggest marketing agency in the world right now. They're like destroying
why
the
not shut
marketing
that down?
industry, right? And that's because they have a lot of information about like what you do online, what you like to buy, and all this other stuff. That's why you get those ads. Like, you know, if you're on your
Big brother
phone, you're
watching.
looking at something, you might see it on Facebook if you go on Facebook. It's just who controls the information. That's all.
Exactly. It's all about who controls the information that we freely give out. I mean, back in the day, they used to, when you realized what your social security number was, they told you, don't tell it to anybody. Now you tell it to everyone, Tom, Dick, and Harry on the phone. You can be on a customer service line, and you will tell that to somebody at least 10
I
times.
have to interject here, okay?
Mhm.
Because
I
did
gave
you
mine to
know
Tom, Dick,
did you
and
know
Harry
that the
last night.
social security number was never ever designed as a form of identification? It was not supposed to be that. It was simply for your social security. Now every bank requires it, credit card requires it, and all these things. It was never supposed to be a form of
Never ever
identity.
supposed to be given to anyone. That's the first thing I learned when I learned what a social security number was. They said
You
never
learn
give
things
it to anyone.
you learn things in Louisiana?
Yes, we do.
Oh,
Learned
okay.
Yes, we do.
You could have fooled me.
Well, seriously,
So,
that's
all right.
the one thing people never should give out to anybody. And we're issued a social security number when we're born in a hospital because the government is using us as
If you
their
vote
things.
Pipeman for president, I will give everybody your social security number, and I will take over TikTok and take all your information and spread it throughout the world. So,
No,
I just want to be able to lick
so
nuts on
vote
TikTok and not get
Pipeman
fired.
for Prez. What do you say, Juan? Should we vote Pipeman for Prez?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
Hey folks, this is Bill Clinton. I listen to W4CY.com. And just remember, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Bring back the good old days, and I will have sexual relations with that woman. Vote Pipeman for Prez.
I do it.
I would vote for you, Rachel, because I adore you.
I like to be adored.
And
I
I
like
like
to do
to
it.
adore,
Wonderful.
so that's perfect. So,
who's running with you? Who's your vice president?
oh yeah, I gotta pick a vice president. Well,
I'll be your vice.
you know, I don't know. Maybe it can't be Biden because he just clinched the Democratic nomination. I'm gonna have to think. It wouldn't be Biden.
No, you don't. Rebel and I, we're your pipe nuts.
I can only pick one.
No, you got to pick two.
Yeah, I'll be the
What?
first president
Taco.
ever. I'll be the
Taco, we
first
got
president ever to have multiple
have
vice
three.
presidents. I'll have three
What?
vice presidents. All pipe nuts are all my vice presidents. And, you know, everybody in the world can be my vice president. That's my name. You vote for me, and you too will be vice president of the United States of America. Juan, can you I just sent you before private chat links, put them in the big text. These are the links. First, let's put up the Love, Hope, Strength one. This is the link to the organization of Mike and Jules Peters from The Alarm. Check this organization out. They're doing things like they're climbing Machu Picchu and Mount Everest.
Oh, wow.
They're doing all these cool type of retreats and stuff. You got to check it out. And it's for such a great cause. It's so different than any other causes. You people know that listen to me for years. I hate the big organizations that just take people's money and don't do shit. Okay. And then this retreat. I mean, this retreat and the responses of the people that went to retreat. And there was one woman that went to a retreat this year from my home place, Jersey. And I mean, what a story. You'll have to listen next week to the whole story. You'll get the whole story about Mike and Jules and The Alarm and the organization and this retreat. But also, I want to say, so what we have on the screen right now is that's the link to either nominate yourself or somebody else to go to a retreat in 2025. And it will be, they spoiled these women.
I want to go.
Well, wait, listen to this. So all these women are there in this retreat and the surprise happened. This is so Pipeman. And in this building right behind me, that you see, that's where it was. And basically, Mike came in. Okay. And before I even announce this, I have to pull up another link for Juan that you'll put on the show here in a second. In the meantime, I'll talk about the heart attack thing. I had this idea because of what we said last week about Portugal and how Portugal treats heart attacks with surfing. I am going to set up my own trips for cardiac people to use surfing to help them with their mind, their body, and their spirit for having cardiac disease.
You should have them write a section in a book for their tell their story, and you can put a book together for them on their retreat.
Ooh, what an idea, Rebel! I love it. Okay, so Juan, I'm putting this link in there.
Good idea, Rebel. We love you.
Oh, by the way, while we're waiting for this, Rachel, why don't you tell us what you did on Movie Reviews and More last night?
What'd I do?
She was on another show.
Oh my God! Do I need to sign a consent form?
We know what you did last night, Rachel. Not last summer, but last night. We know. We were watching. We know what you did.
What did I? No, I'm dead serious. Listen. I am in a state of over intoxicated or like over caffeinated, and so somewhere. And sometimes my memory fails me, but thank you for reminding me that I was even on last night's show.
You were on 2 shows simultaneously.
I was on 2 shows. That's right. I was on 2 shows because I was on a show last night that we were talking about reincarnation. And
what show was that?
Is it
on our network?
I don't know. They called. They were like, we like
then we don't want to hear about it then.
We like the energy. We want you to be on our show. And then that was a week ago. And then they keep calling me back now.
Wow.
Last week,
tell them they need to switch over to these stations. You know, they need
Juan, let me know when you're ready. In the meantime, I got some other stuff to talk about, people. We're going to be giving away tickets.
Yeah, when are we going to give away tickets?
So before we talk about giving away tickets, Rachel, why don't you tell people about our winner last week?
Oh, okay. I can do that. So last week's winner was Paul, and he was able to say Mastiff's latest album, which was, I said it was called The Recipe, which I'm going to still stand behind that. I think they're mispronouncing it, but that was
of course, they're mispronouncing their own album name.
But
of course they are.
Smarty Pants Paul called in, and he was able to get
it. First shot too. He was pretty amazing. But I do have to say, if he's listening this week, that when he sent me a direct message for winning the tickets, he misspelled it. So he knows how to say it, but he doesn't know how to spell it.
That's funny.
But he rocked. He was also such a great, addition to the show for his commentary and everything. And so I'm glad that he won the tickets. And he is
now which festival is he going to?
Well, it's his choice, not yours. So if he's
she wants him to go to Bourbon and Beyond.
Of course
he wants to go to what I'm going to, right? He's like, I'm going to whatever one she's going to. He's like a fan.
Of course. That's what you do to guys. Okay, you have them under your spell.
He's like, I don't care.
Whatever you want.
Which one is your co-host? That little stupid pipe nut going to?
Right.
Not the smart one over there.
I'm gonna surprise him. I'm gonna surprise him.
You're gonna send him somewhere else.
No, his date for Bourbon and Beyond will be Juan instead of you.
Rachel, just let me borrow one of your dresses and I'll go.
Look at that. See, he's a willing participant.
A dress and a wig. That's all I need.
I have a feeling you've got a wild streak in you, Juan. I can't wait to play around with you.
It's always the quiet ones, isn't it?
I was just going to say, it's always the quiet ones that you got. They're the ones that are the wild ones, and they're also the ones you got to worry about are going to kill you in your sleep.
Speaking of that, I did a music
wouldn't do it in your sleep.
yesterday.
I want you to look at me when I'm doing it.
Did you hear me?
Say
I
it
had to do a
again.
music video yesterday.
You did.
Yeah.
I hope you weren't singing.
I was not right.
I've heard you sing.
I'm not gifted with. I think I have a great voice, so I run around singing. But anyway,
all right. Pick any song in the world for you to sing 10 seconds of, and I want you to sing it right now, right here on the Adventures of Pipeman.
I really don't want that.
While you're thinking about that, I do want that. Juan, why don't you play the Pipeman song?
All right, here's the Pipeman song.
There it is.
This is the Pipeman. It's gonna pipe. Play the pipe. Pipeman. Pipeman.
Play that pipe, Pipeman. Play that pipe,
Play that funky pipe.
Play that Pipeman, Pipeman.
Pipeman, a pipe. Man, yeah.
Pipeman. Funky pipe.
Actually sounds like
RCY Radio.
I know, that's why I had them play it. That was a band I interviewed at one of the festivals I'm giving tickets away to. And like, it's this fun thing. They always ask me about Pipeman. They always assume it's about other things. And I always get them, a lot of bands will like sing and write a song right there and there about me, you know. And now you're distracting me. Nuts. My nuts are distracting me.
What did I do?
Nothing
it's
yet.
you doing nothing and just sitting there watching.
No, I'm trying to convert the video because the one that you sent me, it was an MOV file, so I'm trying to convert it into MP4.
Okay, so we're waiting on the video. You got to check out this video. This video is Mike Peters from The Fix doing the surprise performance for these ladies that went to this retreat. Like, it was a total surprise. He walked in the door, and what he's playing a song, okay, that he wrote for his wife when she was going through the breast cancer treatments. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house at this retreat, and you'll see why. And so you definitely have to check it out. Check out their organization. Nominate somebody. Nominate yourself. Everybody in the world has to know about this. I am so excited about this retreat and what they're doing. You know, Jules and Mike are like the nicest, coolest, most greatest human beings that walk this earth, and they just happen to be badass musicians too. How we looking, Juan?
The video's ready.
The video is ready. The video is ready. Da-da-da! Let's go.
When Mike was first diagnosed with leukemia, Darryl was by his side as one of his nurses. So it's ultra special.
Made two together, don't we? Team effort.
Yeah.
No, but it's great that you've all been able to come here today and sharing your experiences that you've all been through together. You know, really admire you for what you've been through, and as a carer for Jules, I can relate to some of the challenges you have to go through, because it's quite a brutal challenge that you've all had to face, and to see you all here today on the road to recovery is very impressive, and very proud of you all for making it through. And I'll sing you a song before I go now. This is a song I wrote for Jules when she was going through the surgery and the radiation and the chemotherapy, and it was a very challenging time. And Jules was in hospital having a surgery that lasted hours and hours and hours. I was pacing the corridors and just started writing these words into my phone. And ever since, I've always, Jules has been my heroine, just like you've been heroines to other people in your lives who've seen what you've been through and understand and appreciate the steps you've made to stay alive. It's called Heroine.
My love, closer to me than God, gives me what faith does not. My love is alive. She flows through my veins like blood, heart beating like a drum. My love is near to me. love speaks to me. She aches when all of my bones they break, when tears stream down my face. My love is there for me. My love, my love, my love, my love, my love, my love. My love is alive. My love is closer to me than God. My love gives me what my faith does not. My love is alive. My love is alive. My love is alive. My love is alive. And she's my heroine, heroine. My heroine, heroine. My love is alive.
If you don't have chills, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. You're a serial killer, okay? Because that was badass. Even the Pipeman loses his composure. Like, imagine that. Imagine going to that retreat and that happening. And so, yeah, I mean, what an amazing thing. That was the actual retreat you guys were seeing. And what amazing people that went. See, that's the thing too. Like, everybody always looks at other people, especially people that are in the public spotlight, and think they have the life. Yet here we are, a husband and wife that did have the life, both got diagnosed with cancer, both had to fight through that brutality of cancer. And instead of having a poor me attitude, they made something about it to help other people, and are helping people every single day. So thank you, Jules. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for all you do. This bud's not for you. So now let's talk other stuff. Hold on. I am going to change my doohickey. I got to tell you something funny, though. So during the interview, I didn't expect to do it that long. My phone fell on the ground. So as we were getting close to my showtime, I was sitting there while she's talking, trying to use my feet to pick up the phone so I'm not doing like this. and it just kept falling. And that's why it took till like a minute for me to text you, Rebel, because I couldn't get my phone. It wasn't until I ended it and she was doing station ID that I was picking up the phone. Oh, man, because you can't do that during the interview. I can't be leaning over and picking up a phone. Also, the Pipeman went to a special place this weekend. Does anybody know where it was?
It's that place with the little holes in the table. Looked like you were at a table, like, I don't know, some nature.
Are you talking about glory holes, Rebel?
No. Oh God, no. You showed pictures. It looked like a big table that had a whole bunch of holes.
That was
look at that. Look at how I perfectly fit in between the two of them. But okay, I'll say that. Then I'm going to talk about what's behind me now. But I went to Nicaragua. Went to Nicaragua this weekend. There was something I saw spider monkeys. They were kind of cool. There was something else I was going to say about Nicaragua, and I totally lost it during that video we were watching because, I had an emotional breakdown with that song. So it'll come up again. But man, anybody that knows me, I am a huge Mike Tyson fan. So I used to watch every single fight of his. Here's a funny story, though. When he fought James Buster Douglas, I was by myself at home in my apartment, and I had it on. I bought the pay-per-view, and they had all these fights ahead of time, and it was like taking hours to watch what was supposed to be like a 30-second fight, because Buster Douglas was a 42-1 underdog, and so then I fell asleep, and my friend, one of my best friends in New Jersey, who was also no longer with us, who is also named Mark. Like, if your name is Mark, don't associate with the Pipeman, because nothing good comes out of that. And there's another name too that we're going to talk about during the show, which I have to do quickly. But so here's the thing. Mike Tyson, and my friend calls me and goes, Tyson just got knocked out. Literally my reaction is like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that was the most unbelievable thing you could ever tell me. That was a total bullshit story. Sure enough, it is what happened. Okay. And, I've still followed him all along. He's become he's like George Foreman. George Foreman was this baddest man on the planet that was a mean guy that did this, did that. And now he's like a big teddy bear. Mike Tyson's the same way. Like, he's the nicest guy. He's no longer the baddest man on the planet. He's one of the nicest men on the planet. And so there's been a lot of talk of his first professional fight since 2005. Like, a fight a few years ago with Roy Jones Jr., but that was just an exhibition. This is a professional fight. It's going to be on Netflix. It's not pay-per-view. It's going to be free.
Live
on Netflix.
Wow.
I think it's going to be Netflix, like one of their first live things. I think they only had one other live thing, if I remember correctly. And so it's cool. There's this video. I think I uploaded it. Look in there. Did I upload the video? I think I uploaded a video one. Let's see.
Which one?
Here.
For those of you who don't know, that's Mike Tyson on this side, and this is someone.
They don't know who Mike Tyson is. Come on.
But they might not know this other person right here.
We're talking about him for a second. In a second. So that's Jake Paul. It's Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. Rebel, why don't you tell us about Jake Paul?
I don't know about Jake Paul. I know about I think it's his brother. He wrestles.
Oh,
Logan
I don't
Paul?
like it. Logan Paul. I don't really care for Logan either.
I know someone who's going to fight him.
Oh, really? In WWE or boxing?
No, he's an MMA fighter. Actually, Pipeman, we both know them.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'm allowed to say just yet, but yeah, he's gonna fight him.
Oh, wow.
Why are we not allowed to say just yet?
I don't know.
It hasn't been announced.
I don't think so, but they're still working out the contract. But we both know him.
So there's been a lot of talk here, and Juan, if you can look up, there's somewhere there's a video on like Tyson's social media or something where I thought I uploaded it, but I didn't. Where he's wearing this shirt and he's saying something, and then Jake comes up and signs the shirt. So see if you can find that one. So yeah, I'm super excited. This is going to be an amazing fight. I mean, Mike Tyson's still in phenomenal shape. If you look at him, he's in phenomenal shape, and I think it's going to be amazing.
How old is he now? Yeah, how old is he?
58 years old.
Can you imagine getting in a fight at our age? Like, I'm 50. I don't know. If somebody hits me, I don't want that. Right?
Oh, I go up to people that are like 6'4", 300 pounds, and I'm like, I will kill you where you stand. And they just look at me. They just look at me like, yeah, I better not fuck with him. He's a little crazy. Rebel, why don't you look up about Jake Paul, and you can tell us all about him.
Jake Paul?
I believe he's in his 20s.
Wow.
Rebel's going to find out for us.
Yeah, he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
that doesn't seem like a fair fight.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's going to kick his ass.
I know. For sure.
Yeah, can't be that sure about it.
I mean, just look at him. He looks like he's going to get his ass kicked. He's like, shh, don't tell anybody Mike Tyson's going to
Wait, when is the fight?
He looks like he
July.
should get his ass kicked. It's going to.
But here's the funny thing, okay? So, everybody listening, everybody watching, here's your chance to win tickets to either Bourbon and Beyond, Louder Than Life, Aftershock, Welcome to Rockville, or Incarceration. Your choice at this point, but once they're gone, they're gone. But here's the first part of the contest today. It is, if you can tell me what Nintendo and the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight have in common, you will be entered to win tickets to one of those festivals. Okay? So, now that we have said that, Rachel, if you were to guess what they have in common, what would you think it is?
I don't know. I guess maybe there's a game.
Oh, you are very close. You are very close. Juan?
I was uploading the video. I wasn't paying attention. What was the question?
Juan's eating tacos.
The question is, what does this picture between Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, and Nintendo have in common? Rebel, do you have a guess?
No.
My guess would have been something about a video game as well. Only because
it is about a video game. It is about a video game that the Pipeman used to play quite a bit. And
Rock on Soccer?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!
I'll just tell everybody and then
Mike
they can enter
Tyson's
the
Punch-Out!
contest. Yeah, it is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but the first guy that you fight, his name is Joe, and he looks exactly like Jake Paul. They look like there's a meme out there right now with this picture or a similar picture of this, and Jake Paul, and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out with Mike Tyson and the Joe guy. And it's so funny you can't unsee it once somebody tells you that it looks like the same thing. They are recreating the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out video game with this fight.
Nice.
So everybody can now enter to win. Okay, play the video, Juan. Let's roll it.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
No problem. Saturday, July 20th. See you there, buddy.
That's they signed the contract on a T-shirt, and that's his line. He's been trying to tell this guy for a long time, sign the contract, big boy. You know what's funny? This guy could demolish you with one punch, yet he talks like that. Like he's somebody that would get bullied if he wasn't the baddest man on the planet. Now, I got to say something too. This is funny. You said something earlier about Mike Tyson and fighting and all that. I used to say all the time that for $20 million, whatever somebody was getting paid back then, I would get in the ring with Mike Tyson. The minute his fist came anywhere near me, I would just let the wind blow me over. But for 20 million, I would take a punch from Mike Tyson. It would only take one punch. I would
die. It would take $20 million to fix what he broke when he hit you.
Exactly. But I always used to say that. Anybody that knew me, I always used to say that. And I say it now, too. The Pipe Man challenges you, Mike Tyson, because I'll bite your freaking ear off.
Oh, you went there.
I did go there. Well, have you seen the commercial? There's a commercial with Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. And Mike Tyson had these cookies or something like that. It was shaped like Holyfield's ears. Because they're good friends now. The two of them are good friends. But
it's nothing like tasting somebody.
Well, that is a way to bond. Wouldn't that be bonding if somebody just came up to you and just nibbled on your ear, but bit it off? Like everybody wants their ear nibbled on, but biting it off and spitting it out, maybe not so much.
That's my kind of play.
I
only go too far. That's the kind of play.
So we are definitely out of time. So here's what you're going to have to stay up on, people. Not next week, but the following week to win tickets is Chad. Okay, so Chad is a place
Yes.
in the world.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to talk about that. And there
It's
are
a
5 characteristics to Chad. So
Yeah.
what your homework is, listeners and co-hosts, what are the 5 characteristics of Chad, the place, and Chad, the engineer?
But isn't Chad also like AI? I mean, that's what I call AI.
Maybe no, I never heard
No?
of AI's
No.
name as Chad.
I always call him
It's
Chad.
chat.
She's
It's
thinking
chat
of Chat
GP.
GPT.
Wait,
Yeah.
Chad
it's
is.
chat.
I think I had
Chad-
Chad over last night.
Chad was our head engineer at the station who passed
Mhm.
away, who was one of my best friends, but there's also a place on earth called Chad. There's also the hanging Chads in the elections in Florida. Chad has a lot of places, okay? Chad is also an organization for ADD and ADHD,
Oh, what?
but it's spelled CHADD. And Chad is also the guy down the street in Houston who's a full-on Texan, because hey there, dude, lady, I'm Chad. So anyway, we're out of here. I was late. We're ending late. We got to get out of here. I don't know what I missed, but we'll pick it up in 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to have the full interview with Jules from The Alarm. And we're going to talk about cancer and help for cancer and supporting women and all that stuff. So you have to tune in next week to the Adventures of Pipeman right here on W4CY Radio. Talk 4 TV, and it's at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's very important because there's different times all around the world. Go by Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And on top of that, follow Pipeman Radio on all socials, everywhere. Enter to win tickets. There's a lot more I have to say, but I've already said too much. Thanks for listening. Thanks to my pipe nuts. Roll it, Juan.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.